All right, so I don't know if you guys or gals can see this in my beard. I'm just gonna do a video. I'm just trying to lighten up here a little bit, but I got the microphone in my beard here. I'm gonna see how this turns out, but whatever. I'm just trying to get out of this funk that I'm in, but I'm not trying. I'm just doing whatever. It doesn't matter. I think too much. I think that's my problem. I think too much about stuff. But then at the same time, what do you not do? Not think about anything. But I want to do a video. I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. Usually I talk about subjects that people don't talk about, and talking about them, I think I kind of put myself in these uncomfortable situations that I don't mean to put myself in, but I just can't help it because that's how I am as a person. And this might not be a good idea. It's probably bouncing around, so I'm going to take it off. I said I want to be the first person. I want to be the first person on YouTube to do a video with a microphone in my beard. So, whatever. But yeah, I think I get myself into these very uncomfortable situations, but I can't help it. Like, I can't help it. I am someone that is very different the way that I go about how I speak about things and how I socialize with people, and I'm very awkward in social situations. I, I'm not how I used to be, because how I used to be in social situations, I used to be like a nutball. I used to be really crazy. And I still am like that somewhat, but I'm not so out of control like I used to be. Like, I used to be really out of control when I was a younger person. I mean, I did some really, really, really crazy things. I was the underground class clown, if that makes any sense. I wasn't the one where I would do silly things when all eyes were on me. I wouldn't do silly things sometimes. It was when it was around a few people or one person, sometimes around people. But anytime someone put me on the spot to do something, like, hey Nate, freestyle, Nate, sing, Nate, do this or that, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it, and I would get angry. Like, something got me angry that they would ask me to do something, and it was like, just let me do it naturally. And I would do things. But anyway, this is very off topic from what I wanted to talk about. But I always wonder to myself, how do you get better as a person that struggles with depression or mental health problems and stuff like that, whatever category? I can't think of any other words that you would put in that category, psychiatric, stuff. How do you get better without trying to get better or lying to yourself to get better? You know what I'm saying? How do you go about, you know, having yourself in a place that you are more content with yourself, but you're not lying to yourself? You're being honest with yourself. And I know this is off topic from this, but it relates to it a little bit. But like, I'm someone, when I wake up in the morning, if I am not excited about doing something that day, or I just feel good, or I'm in a mania, or I'm just feeling better about something, I am, and I have never been a morning person. When in the morning, when people say good morning, and you walk into a place of people, everybody's, good morning, how's it going, or whatever, and it's like me, if I don't say hi, don't take it as an offensive thing. I'll say hi or something, but I'm kind of like in the morning, I'm not really a good morning kind of guy. I don't mean to be a prude about it. I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be like a miserable guy. I don't mean to be like grumpy, but I'm just not somebody that goes around, saying, good morning, how are you, and all this stuff in the morning. It's kind of like the way that I would start the day is very awkward from how anybody else would start the day. I start the day kind of like, I'm not feeling this shit right now. I'm miserable, but I don't want to be miserable. You understand? And how do you, when you are in a normal situation with other people, see, we have this social conditioning that goes on, that we talk this certain lingo and we say the same things all the time, and a lot of people do this. And look, if that's what they do, it's whatever. It's cool. It isn't that I hate people for doing this. It isn't that I'm here to say anybody that says good morning, I hate them. That's not what I'm saying. It's just the way that I have to deal with things is way different than other people. You know, every day, hold on, y'all. Hold on a second. I was eating cream cheese. I got cream cheese all over my beard. Sorry about that. I can't have stuff on my beard while I'm doing a video. Sorry. But I'm a kind of person where I have to, every day has got to be like therapy to me. You see, every day, it's like, for me, it's one day at a time kind of thing, and I need to talk as though I'm in a therapy session. That's just how I am as a drug addict, as I'm not on heroin or anything right now, on Xanax. I got off of heroin and Xanax, and benzo withdrawal was a living hell getting off of those, and I was drinking a fifth a day. I was really bad into drugs. I mean, I should have probably died the way that I was treating my body. And that's why I still have problems to this day, because of how bad I was treating my body and how much I didn't care. But these things with me is the average, I'll just say average person, someone who wakes up in the morning and is, oh, hi, good morning, and they're drinking their cup of coffee, and they're ready to face the day, and they're doing what they're doing, and they're really not thinking how I think. And I'm not trying to judge anybody, but it's, for me, every single day is like therapy. It's like a therapy session. And I if I would do what I have to do every day around the average person, sooner or later they would either get sick of hearing me do it, or they would avoid me, or they would say, well, why do you talk about this all the time? Like, why are you like that? Why, like, well, why don't you think of doing this? Or have you ever tried this? Or I do this and it works for me. Listen, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. It's just, I don't understand why people, and it's some of my fault, because I won't really say anything. I'll bottle it up inside the way that I really feel. Because every day I feel something. Every day I got some shit on my mind that I have to speak. Every day there's something that's kind of like nagging me. You know what I mean? It's like a steady it's like a brain fart. It's like something is always there in my life that I have to cope with, and I have to expose, and I have to be honest about. And everybody, it's like people just can't accept when you have to be a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's always this thing like, oh, well, you're not doing this, or why are you so miserable all the time, or why do they start questioning it, and then they want you to be how they want you to be, and I can't be how anybody wants me to be. I just can't do it. You have to be like someone that is like, well, what's going on? Talk to me. Hey, look, whatever you're going through, talk to me about it. It's fine. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to listen. Even if I'm miserable, even if I have to complain a little bit about what's going on up in here, up in this thing. And this is where it is in this world that we live in. Yes, I can tell people how I'm feeling and what's on my mind and whatever, but then there's these little things that go on in my mind that if I would say to people, they would literally think that I'm probably crazy or nuts, because I think thoughts that are like intruding thoughts, and when I see someone and I have some kind of pet peeve or something that is just making me feel strange, or like they're making me uncomfortable or something, how do I tell them that? How do I say, look, you're making me nervous. You're making me uncomfortable. No fault of your own. It's no fault of your own, but you're making you make me uncomfortable because you're just sitting there not saying anything, or you are. There's so many different reasons why I would think this way. And like I said, listen, my mom, she calls me paranoid. She says, you're just paranoid and whatever. And listen, I don't know. Maybe I am paranoid, but my paranoia is for a reason. It's because I want you to speak to me. I want you to let me know how you feel. I want you to let me know what's on your mind. You see, I'm this kind of person, like, if I don't know what you're thinking, if I don't know what's on your mind, and like we're sitting there and it's just quiet and awkward, I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to go, because I know I'm going to be the one that is going to make the situation even more awkward, because I'm going to say something awkward, because that's just how I am. If someone's being quiet, I'm going to be like, oh, this is a quiet situation. Here we are, sitting quiet. And it's kind of like that little voice in my head that's, because this is how social conditioning is. We're programmed to think that we always have to say something to one another. And I know this is hard to explain. Listen, I don't know. And I know that it's me. I know that it's me, but at the same time, knowing that it's me, I don't really know how to express that to people. If I'm being absolutely honest, I don't know how to express that to people. I don't know how to kind of come out of my shell with, either joking about it or being serious, but telling them, look, this isn't what I mean when I say these things or I do these things. Really, sometimes in the morning when people say, oh, hi, good morning, sometimes if I'm being honest with you, I really want to say something kind of like, yeah, good morning, whatever, blah, blah. Like, I kind of want to say something like smart or something the opposite of what they're saying, but then I don't. I don't say it. I act as if I go along with it. You know what I mean? If someone says, "Oh, hi, good morning," I'll go, "All right," or I'll say hi, or and look, like I said, it's not me trying to be a jackass. It's not me trying to be a prick. It's not me trying to be an asshole. It's not me trying to do anything. But this is another thing that I've always been weird in social situations. I've always been weird around people. I never ever felt comfortable around other people. I never felt comfortable around other people. Not even my own family, I didn't feel comfortable around for some reason. I always felt out of place. I always felt like when everybody was looking straight forward or they were looking at each other in the eyes, I had my head down while I was talking, or I was looking at them when they weren't looking at me. And then when they would look at me, I would look away. And I have this thing with eye contact. I don't like making a lot of eye contact with people either. And this is why I said in some of my past videos that I truly believe that I have a slight form of autism. I really do. I don't sound autistic. I don't look autistic, but there's something with me that is not normal. Because when someone looks in my eyes, if I'm being honest, there a lot of people's eyes are kind of, how can I say this? There are eyes that I can withstand, and there are eyes that I can look in, and they are, what is this saying? Someone's hard on the eyes or something. And I know that nobody means anything by it. I know it sounds so ridiculous. I know that, like, just because someone with icy eyes that are wide open looking, like some people just, their eyes just scare me. I don't know what it is. The eyes are kind of like when they say the keys to the soul. It's like someone's looking at you and they're looking through you and I don't know. It's very hard to explain. It's like they're seeing my nakedness or something. But it's not quite that though. I just cannot make eye contact. I can't even hardly make eye contact with my own mom for more than a couple seconds. And I look away. And she doesn't ever say anything about that, but people have said something about it in the past. But I I caught on with this about, I don't know. I don't remember when I started saying, why can't I look at people in the eyes? What's up with that? And even when I was younger, I there were days where I was more comfortable looking people in the eye. And then there were days where I didn't want to look at people at all. I didn't want them looking at me, and I didn't, but see, hold on. Let me say this. I wanted to look at them, but I didn't want them looking at me so much on some days. And then some days I wanted them looking at me, but I didn't want to look at them. And I know it sounds so strange. I know it sounds so weird. Like I said, I am a very funny character. I don't know. I am an anomaly. I am somewhat of a different species of human, if you ask me. That's how I feel about myself. I really feel like I am a different breed of human. And I'm just being dead honest with you. That's how I really feel. And I know, and this is why I say anything that I do, see, I'm this kind of person. I will when you listen to something, if I upload a beat that I make or something, I will call that, I will label it as a genre sometimes if it sounds hip hoppy or R&B ish, or what are the other, genres that they call stuff like whatever, any genre. I can't even think of them because I don't really think of genres like that. EDM and all that stuff. See, I make things that might sound like other artists, but I'm not trying to be any other artist. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just being myself. I'm making what I like to make. I'm making what I love. I'm making what I'm passionate about. And it might sound like I'm trying to copy someone else, or it might sound like a genre, but I don't try to make any kind of genre. I just make music because I love sound. And when I call it like a hip hop funk, or it's a funky sound, or that funk is in the music, or I'm sounding like whatever, I am not going to be talking about guns. I am not going to be talking about selling coke to people. I'm not going to be talking about flipping birds. But the thing with me is, yes, I am a man that has a sex drive. So yes, I will talk about women in songs. I will talk about sex. I will talk about philosophy. I will talk about other things when I do make music. When I do start putting out music more, I'll be talking about a lot of things, but you won't hear me talking about being a gangster or trying to be tough, or a alpha male or whatever, because I label myself as a sigma male. I am a sigma male, a full-blown sigma male. I do everything kind of by myself and on my own, but at the same time, this is why it's so hard, because it's very hard to find other Sigma males like myself. And that's just how I feel about myself. I feel like I am a very rare breed of human. And I know that I'm not more special than anybody. I know that I am just a human. Just like whoever's watching this video, you're a human, I'm a human. I bleed red blood. I have bones. I am made of flesh. I am not made of steel. And I don't think that I'm made of steel. I'm not a prideful guy, but I do have confidence in myself in certain areas. And then there's certain areas where my brain, I just can't help certain things. Like when I get depressed, or when I fall into these, I don't know if it's bipolar, I don't know what it is, but I can't help when that happens. That's just something my brain's doing. But it doesn't make my character. It doesn't make me who and what I am. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what, normal, I say normal because I can't think of any other word, but this is what normal people kind of don't understand. They're too stuck on the labels, they're too stuck on the genres, they're too stuck on you should say this, why are you not saying this? They're too stuck on those things. And this is what I've picked up about people like myself is, we are not trying to impress anyone. We are not trying to fit in anywhere. We just want to be ourselves. We just want to express ourselves. We just want to be honest about things. You see, we don't want to hide behind a mask or facade. I don't want to have to try to get better. I don't want to have to act like I'm all right when I'm not all right, because that just causes more problems. And I'm doing this video because I'm really trying to be vulnerable and open with myself, yet I'm not trying to say too much about myself, because I think that every person has to keep some things to themselves. I think you have to remain a little bit of a mystery. You have to have a little bit of mystique to you. You don't give everybody the whole shebang. You just don't do that. And this is something that I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm telling you this. How many people will remember? I don't know, but it doesn't matter really. But But yeah, I just ask myself, and I know when I do these videos, I go off topic and I get into all these little nooks and crannies, but that's just the only way I know how to do it. But I am not gonna try to get better. I am not going to lie to myself to get better, but there still are some things that are a mystery to me and are a mystery to this world that we do not know, and we still ask questions about. And some people say, I know that there's this. And some people say, I know there's not this. And then there's people that will say, I'm not sure and I don't know. I'm not sure, I don't know kind of guy. But that doesn't mean that I am not for sure of myself and some of the things that I know that I'm capable of doing as a person. But it's just sometimes the brain is just kind of doing its own thing, you know? And if you want me to be honest, see, you ladies, you have your periods. Us men have our brain periods too. We have our periods. Listen, it's just a different way that you have them. You know, you don't think we get cranky? You don't think that we don't get hot flashes and other things like you do? I'm a man and I get hot flashes. I'm a man and I get cranky and miserable. I'm a man and I swear sometimes, I remember when my mom would get these hot flashes and stuff, and she would be, like, look, just leave me alone. And she would, stay in her room and she would isolate and stuff. And see, and I'm using her as an example, but she would get like that because I don't think she wanted to know, for us to know that she was like that. But I didn't care. I didn't care. I wanted to help. I wanted to hear her misery. I wanted to hear her crankiness. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to run from it. See, this is what we do. We hide. And I don't really want to use my mother as an example because I don't like talking about anybody in videos but myself. But we always tend to hide what is really going on. And we always try to act as if that thing is not going on. And then we either hide or we isolate or we play these games, and we're smiling when we don't want to smile, and we're saying all these social things that we say to each other when really we don't even want to say it. And like I said, it's not anybody's fault, but I see through it and I see past it, and then it makes me look like an outsider. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like an outsider. And then I feel as though I can't really speak about what I need to speak about for myself. Because if I do that, then I know that I'm going to get this kind of, oh, well, I already know all the reactions that I'll get. I will get a reaction like something like, well, what is something that when you say, oh, well, I haven't been doing too good lately, someone will say something like, oh, well, what's the matter? What's going on? We all have our bad days and whatever. Yeah, that's cool. But it's kind of like if someone told me that they're having a bad time, I would say, well, hey, if you're going through a bad time, that's fine. Talk about it. It isn't like I'm telling them to do something about it. I'm just there to listen, because this is why I think America has a lot of the issues and problems that it has in these areas, because we all think that we have to work our way through that, or we have to do something right away. It's like we can't just let it happen naturally. We can't just accept that someone is feeling the way they feel and just say, okay, that's how you feel. If that's how you are, then that's how you are. But then there comes the conundrum with it is, do you just let people keep doing some of the bad habits they do? Well, you have to let them do that because that's their choice. And see, this is the thing with me. I am kind of a disciplinary. I'm kind of a disciplinarian in a lot of ways, but I'm not a disciplinarian in a way where I'm going to be telling other people kind of about themselves. You see what I mean? It's just not for me. I'm not bold in that way. I will speak for myself and I will speak on camera how I feel about it, but I won't tell people to their face most of the time because I already know that it's going to be like a battle. It's going to be like they get offended or they hold some grudge against me or something. And I don't want to get involved with that. I don't want to have someone that is against me for some petty stupid thing, and that's why I really don't say anything. But I will talk about things on these videos and I will call myself out and I will speak about it, but yet that kind of confrontation, there's very few people that will confront people in that way. There's very few people in this world that are like that. And if I'm being honest, I kind of need people like that in my life that speak up, that are bold, that are like, well, you got to get over it. You got to get over it. You're feeling sorry for yourself. Get over it. Like sometimes you need that tough love, and then other times I need a soft-hearted person. I need a very kind and caring person on my side. And I have this saying that says, have kind of a soft heart yet a firm mind. Have a soft heart but have a tough mind, if that makes sense. But there's still contradictions in that too, because the heart and the mind are kind of the same thing metaphorically, but I don't know. It's just like everything is a conundrum, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't feel like I can speak this conundrum to people because I don't think they can handle contradiction. I don't think they understand that when you're acting one way one day and then another day you're acting another way, a lot of people will be confused by that, but it's nothing to be confused about. It's just actually being a free person. You're doing what you feel. You're saying what you need to say. And the human mind and the psychology of our brains and the way we think can go one of so many different ways. It's never just one thing. And see, this is why I can't stand that some people are just so caught up on the labels or how their image is. They're holding up this image all the time of themselves. They're constantly putting on this thing this way that they think they should be. And that to me is the mask and facade that we wear. That to me is the social game that we play with people. Because when we come home, you see, like in movies and wherever they show someone's real life, like right when they come home and they shut the door, they go, thank goodness that's over. Right when they go home and they shut the door. It's something that Charles Manson said. He said, when the company comes, you hide the trash in the back. And that's what most people do. They don't really show you what's really actually going on. It's kind of like a world of secrecy that we're in when I really think about it. It's kind of like a conspiracy theory everywhere. If you really think about it, metaphorically, it's like a conspiracy theory. It's like everybody has secrets. There's hardly anybody that is showing you their true side. They're not really, really telling you what they're really, really thinking. They're telling you something different than other than what they're thinking. And when I'm thinking that, I'm saying, well, come on, Jack. Come on, Jill. Come on, Steve. Come on, Brandon. Come on. Come on, Natalie. You know that you're really not thinking that. You're just telling me that. But see, I don't really know how to do that with people because it feels very awkward. And what do I do about it? What do I do about it? I don't really know. I haven't found of a way to really cope with that or handle that or go about that. I haven't really found the way to do that. And really, you know what? There is no way. There is no way. It's just maybe there is some kind of fear in me of judgment. I don't know. Maybe I am scared to be judged. Maybe I am in fear that if I truly be myself, that I won't be accepted by some people. So what? So what? Like I don't understand why I care so much about this. But at the same time, in saying that, it isn't like I'm trying to impress people because I'm not. I am being myself in this video. I am speaking like me, but at the same time, I still know that I'm recording myself and I know that someone else is going to watch this. So am I fully being myself? Almost. It's like 99.98%, 97% that I'm being myself. But knowing that I'm recording and knowing that someone's going to watch this and someone's going to hear it, there's that slight thing in the back of my head or in my mind that says, people are going to watch this, Nate. People are going to see this, Nate. People are going to hear this, Nate. People are going to judge you, Nate. People are going to think something about it. And that thought alone, that very thought, why do we have that thought? You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to have that thought in our minds. When we wake up in the morning, we should be able to just come around each other and really not even have to say things like good morning, if I'm being honest. We should just say, if it was me, I'd say something like, hey, you're looking good today, or I don't know, if I smell your breath, hey, your breath's really stinking. How about go and brush your teeth? Like just being brutally honest about something. Or like, look, hey, make me a cup of coffee with yours. It's like just getting right into it. You know what I mean? It's like, let's stop beating around the bush with this normal kind of conversation that we do. But at the same time, I know that that's not going away. And listen, I don't hate you if you say good morning. I'm just using this as an example of how I think about things. It really isn't a big deal either. I'm kind of making it a big deal, but I guess I make some things a big deal. I don't know. That's just how my brain is. And I really can't help this. I really, really can't help it. It's just something that I developed over the years. I always felt weird. I always felt out of place with normal social conversation. It always felt wrong to me. It never felt genuine. It never felt real. It never felt authentic. It always felt holiday-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's a holiday, everybody's saying all this good stuff to each other and oh, now it's a good day. Well, what about every day? Well, what about every single day? Why can't every single day be a holiday? Why don't you talk to me like you talk to me on Thanksgiving? Oh, well, I hope you're doing well and tell the family I said happy Thanksgiving or whatever. Well, why don't you talk like that all the time? See, why is it only on a holiday that we're talking like this? You see what I mean? It's just like this whole thing when you see how it's kind of like a setup. It's kind of like we're forcing each other to play this game. Like we're forcing each other to say some of the things that we say. And I don't even think most people even recognize it or see it. And I do. And I just feel awkward about it. I don't know how else to say it. And it ain't like, listen, sometimes I need to hear people say, good morning. Like I swear to goodness, and I know it's hypocritical, but sometimes I need to hear people say, "Hi, how are you doing?" or "What's been going on?" or "It's good to see you," or something. But then there are days where I'm avoiding it at the same time because sometimes I don't feel like it is a genuine interaction, and I can't stand interactions that are not genuine. I can't stand conversation that is forced conversation. And I sometimes I really wonder, do we really know how to truly unconditionally care for one another in a way where every day, just because you go to bed and wake up, nothing has changed. You just went to sleep and woke up. I really wonder if there are people that have like unconditional caring, unconditional love in the sense of they are passionate. They have passion for someone or something. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. I feel like every day I am just passionate. And then I feel like I'm too passionate. And then I don't feel like I can really say what I truly want to say because people are going to mistake it for going outside of the context of the normal social conditioning or programming. And it's like, I want to break all of that. I want to break away from that. I want to break it in the name of what is real, in the name of what is like actually genuine and true. And if you don't want to say anything, don't say anything. If you are miserable, then be miserable. If you are glad about something, be glad about something. If you are someone that enjoys life, enjoy life. If you are someone that is you're like, I don't like the way this is, then say you don't like the way it is. Don't bullshit yourself, don't lie to other people, and don't bullshit them. Is it that hard? Is it that hard for us to do? Is it really that hard for us to do? But see, as I'm saying, is it that hard for us to do? Sometimes it is hard for me to do for some reason. And I don't know why, but it is. And then I'm back up in my thoughts and I'm back up in my head and I'm thinking I could have handled that situation just a little different, but I didn't. And then I'm thinking about it and it's on my mind and I'm kind of obsessing about it. And I can't let it go and say, look, it's just a slight conversation. It's just a slightly uncomfortable situation that you're having with someone because you don't really feel like you can speak your mind. You don't really feel like you can say what you really need to. And I can't just say, okay, Nate, let it go. It's no big deal. Just let it go. Let it go. But see, here's the thing that it's kind of like if I cannot express myself, if I cannot be absolutely brutally honest, then I feel like I'm a hypocrite. I feel like somehow I let myself down or something. Like, and the way that I'm giving you these words, I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm doing my best to explain it in the way that I can with the words that I have in my vocabulary. But sometimes these words don't even do what I'm really going for to say. They don't even do these videos justice because sometimes there really isn't a word or a sentence that I can say to describe some of the things that I think. It's basically like a pendulum. It's like a seesaw. My life is like a seesaw, and I don't know how to balance this seesaw. The seesaw, one time it's down to the left and the right side is up. Sometimes the right side is down a little bit and the left side is up a little bit. Sometimes the right side is completely down and sometimes the left side is completely up. Sometimes the left side is in the middle downwards, and sometimes the pendulum on the seesaw is upright in the middle. It's like it's this constant thing where, and it's, can someone ever really understand that? Can someone ever really accept that? Can someone ever just say, okay, that's how you are? And when I'm getting on their nerves, just say, you're getting on my nerves. Just tell me if I'm getting on your nerves. Tell me I'm getting on your nerves. Don't tell me a lie. Don't lie to me. There's no reason to lie to me. If you think that I'm being a sissy boy, say, look, I think you're being a sissy boy. If you think that I'm whatever, just say it. Don't say something that you do not mean. I'm not going to get offended. I'm not going to get offended by it. I just want to hear the truth in everything that people say. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. But then again, what I'm asking for in other people, what I'm asking other people to do, I won't even do sometimes. So there's my own hypocrisy. There's my own contradiction going. There is my own conundrum in and of itself. And that's just what it is. So I don't know. This is the way that I do videos. This is the way that I vent, and this is just one part. This is just one piece of the puzzle that goes on in my life. So now you kind of know what I go through as a person. This is literally just one piece of the puzzle. And all the other pieces of the puzzle in my brain and in my psychological state and in my psyche, to make it short, and the thoughts and my memories and everything that I know, that's only one piece of the puzzle, just one piece. And there's many other pieces. So when you're someone like this, when you have these artistic abilities, but then at the same time, you have kind of trouble making some of the slightest, easiest decisions. It's very strange. I can do one thing very great. I'm very confident about certain things. One thing I can do really good, and I can learn really quick. And then another thing, it's just not for me. It's I have a weakness in. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have very strong strengths and I have very weak weaknesses, if that makes sense. And those things are always, they are always kind of playing their own little game in my head and my mind and my brain. They're always going back and forth. They're always contradicting themselves. They're always, and my mom used to call me contrary, and I used to hate when she used to call me it. I used to get really mad and angry, and I still kind of do for some reason, if I'm being honest, but I am contrary. I am contradicting, but it isn't a good or a bad contradiction. It's just literally life. It's literally life happening and things that are going on in life, and the way that I react to things in this world. And I react very strangely sometimes. I react differently sometimes. Sometimes I don't even want to react. I just want to be left alone. I don't want anybody to even notice I'm there sometimes, if I'm being honest. And then sometimes I want to be noticed, like Kanye West or someone. And that's me, folks. Welcome to the real. Welcome to the land of weird honesty, I guess. So there you go, folks. That is the show for today. Listen, help support the channel. Send a tip, send a donation, send anything. Come on, guys, help support me here. I don't want to say if you would like to help support me. Come on, guys, support me. You want to support me. I tell the truth. You know that I'm someone being honest with you. Where else are you going to get this on YouTube? Where else are you going to get this on YouTube? You ain't going to get this anywhere else. And I want to say, people that have given to my platform in the past, thank you. And I know I already said that before, but I just want to say thank you again, because those things mean a lot too. You don't understand when I get something like that or that happens, to know that someone cares, to know that someone is saying, I relate to that, so I'm going to give back to what I relate to. I'm taking my time to do this, so come on, give me something here. I don't care if it's $1, $5. It isn't about the money, it's about the gesture, y'all. It's about the gesture to say that you're actually listening, you actually care about something. Other channels, they will kind of, they'll do this little, they'll talk to you as if they're in one of these social conditioning situations. And see, this is another thing. I don't know how to really joke around about it or tell you in a way that some other people do, but I'm just being honest about it. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to help support me, help me in that way. Throw me a tip or a donation. Or there's other links in the description. My art shop, I'm probably going to close that down because I haven't been marketing in it, and I didn't really do it the way I exactly wanted to do it. But if you want to go on there and get something, who knows? Maybe one day I will somehow, come up. Maybe one day I will get lucky with something. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, look, this is just me. It's just me. It's who I am. It's all I know. And it's just another day. Another day, another video speaking about it. So thank you for watching. Take care. Good night, good day, and good morning.